İyi akşamlar herkese. SIUK Türkiye olarak bugün de Birleşik Krallık genelinde Russell Grup Araştırma Üniversiteleri grubunda sıralamada yüksek üniversitelerimizden Queen Mary University London ile webinar yapıyor olacağız. Şimdi üniversite temsilcimiz Bayan Dayana'yı bağlanması üzere webinara davet ediyorum. Akabinde minik bir açıklama sonrası başlıyor olacağız. Hi Diana.
Hi Gamse, how are you?
Fine, and you? Welcome, and this is great to see you.
Thank you, you too.
Diana, first of all, as IUK Turkey, we would like to thank you very much for the information you will share with us today. We are very sure that it will be a very useful presentation for all of our students. If you're ready, we can start, please.
Okay, perfect. Let me share my screen then quickly.
Yeah, sure, please. Thank you.
Second. Okay. Actually, hold on. I'll just read it quickly. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Okay, well, hello everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Diana and I am the Regional Manager here at Queen Mary University of London. Today I'll be talking to you a little bit about Queen Mary in general, but also a little bit about student life and culture in the UK, what you can expect from your studies and your time in the UK as a student. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There will be a short Q&A section at the end, so there will be time for some questions. But just starting off, just to give you an idea of how multicultural UK really is, as per the latest data available provided by the UK government. In the UK, there are roughly 680,000 overseas students that study. About 120,000 of those students are from Europe, and about 560,000 of those students came from the rest of the world. And those students make up 24% of total student population. So at each of the different universities, you'll see anything between 30 to 50% of students coming from overseas, and any, again, university will have anything between 100 to 180 different nationalities represented at their universities. So at Queen Mary, we have about 40% of our students are international, and there are around 170 different nationalities represented at the university, which really means that you'll be studying at a really culturally diverse place with lots of different people from all around the world. But just to give you an idea into what it's like and what sort of community you can expect at Queen Mary, I've got a short video. I'll just play this for you, just to give you an overview of what you can expect with us. I hope you'll be able to hear the sound. If you can't, just let me know.
At Queen Mary, we're a truly global university with a friendly community, staff and students from over 170 countries. Queen Mary is one of the most diverse universities in the world.
With campuses and international offices across 3 continents.
We support international students at every step of the journey, from application through to enrollment and into the next steps in life, be it employment or further studies.
Whether it's guiding you into an exciting new adventure or finding the right financial support for eligible students.
We are here to help you succeed along the path you choose.
And when you're looking for your next success and brilliant breakthrough, isn't being in the #1 city for students a great place to start, where conversations, connections, and collaboration can happen anytime and anywhere.
Our accommodation guarantee means you'll never be far from the action. As all new and eligible undergraduate, postgraduate, and foundation students starting in September are guaranteed accommodation in university halls of residence or with one of our partner providers.
Being in the heart of East London makes the city easy to explore. Our Milan campus is within walking distance of lots of public transport options, which means you can be in the international financial hub of Canary Wharf and Central London in under 20 minutes.
Back on campus, our diversity and global community means we can create meaningful international impact. By bringing together students, academics, and researchers from across the world, we are tackling some of society's biggest challenges and transforming lives globally.
Queen Mary is where diverse perspectives come together, helping us achieve the previously unthinkable. We connect people and opportunities from across the world for the good of all.
We are creative thinkers.
We are change makers.
We're a truly global university.
Okay, well, I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight, as I said, into what sort of university we are. Let me try and move on to the next slide, if this will allow me to do so. Oh, perfect. Okay. So as you have heard, there are over 170 nationalities on campus with us at Queen Mary. We are very centrally located, literally 10 minutes away from the city of London, so the actual centre of London. We have the largest self-contained campus in London, and in fact, we are the only Russell Group university in London with a campus. So lots of other Russell Group universities in central London do not have a campus, and we do, which really helps with that kind of community feeling. As you've heard in the video, London has been voted #1 city for students, and we do also offer guaranteed on-campus accommodation. But in terms of kind of our history and what sort of programs we offer, so our history dates back to 1785 and beyond. We were the first medical school in England back in 1785, but these days we are known for various different subject areas. There are around 32,000 students that study with us in Queen Mary, and about 41% of them are international. In terms of our rankings, we're top 120 in the world, and we are among the top 20 UK universities targeted by leading employers. We have our main campus in London, in addition to 3 other London-based campuses. But we also have presence in Paris, where we run joint programs with a university there. We have a campus in Malta, and we have joint programs in Singapore too. So we do really have a global presence. We've had 9 Nobel Prize winners, and for any of you interested in studying law specifically, at Queen Mary, we do have our award-winning legal advice centre, which is staffed predominantly by Queen Mary students who provide free, accessible advice to the public on a range of legal issues. So lots of different opportunities for students. In terms of what you can study with us, just briefly, we have 3 main faculties, and within those there are different schools. So as you can see, you can pretty much study the majority of the popular subject areas that we see in Turkey, like business, economics and finance, law, politics, international relations, computer science, engineering. I think it's easier to mention what we do not offer. So things that we do not offer are, for example, architecture, civil engineering, criminology, journalism. Everything else we pretty much do. In terms of the entry requirements, we typically ask for anything between 70 to 90% overall in the Turkish diploma, and then an IELTS of anything between 5.5 to 7.0. But if you do want to have a look at our courses and what you can study, you can scan this code on the screen here and it will take you to our course finder. Okay, so in terms of our location, and this will feed into kind of the culture and what it's like studying in London in general. Queen Mary is located in East London. It's probably one of the most kind of vibrant parts of the city. It's very international and kind of bustling. I would probably compare it to kind of the main Taksim Square area in Istanbul. It's always very busy and very vibrant. So it's definitely a place where new ideas spring up and great things take shape. We're very proud to be an East London university and really are looking forward to kind of showing you what it really means in real life. We're very close to Shoreditch and Brick Lane, the Tech City Technology Cluster, and the financial centres of Canary Wharf and the City. If you were to cycle from Mile End, you'll find within 10 minutes cycle, you'll find the world-class sports facilities at Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. That's where we hosted the Olympics in 2012. And we are also only 15 minutes away from Oxford Circus on the tube. So this is exactly where we are in London. You can see the campus here in East London, so very close to Stratford and very close to the actual centre of London. So London is split between 6 zones. We are in zone 2. Zone 1 is kind of the city centre, but zone 1 is actually really tiny. So we are still pretty much in the city centre. So to get from Queen Mary campus to the main kind of sites and attractions such as Chinatown, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, will probably take you 10 minutes maximum on the tube. But in terms of getting in and around the campus, it's really easy and convenient. There's numerous tube lines, including the Overground line, Elizabeth line, and there's lots of different bus stops as well. So it's super easy to get to other parts of London from where we are. That's the campus. As I said, we do have a completely self-contained campus, which means that you can live on campus in your first year of your studies with us. You'll have access to all the teaching facilities, restaurant, cafes, gym, library. It's all in one place. As soon as you step out of campus, on each side of the campus, there are 2 main tube stations. Further up here, you can see the Whitechapel campus. So that's where we teach medicine and dentistry. And a bit further up, that's the City of London, the financial district in London, meaning that we have some pretty good connections with various different international companies there. And the reason why this area is called Mile End, it's because we are exactly 1 mile away from the city centre, which is really, really close. Next to us, we have the Mile End Park as well, and we have a canal running on that side of the campus. So once you're on campus, you really do not feel like you're in central London, and you can find a bit kind of peace right next to the Mile End Park. You see a lot of students sitting by the canal and enjoying a spot of lunch there on that side of the campus. So if you are thinking of studying with us and living on campus, like I said, this is possible. We guarantee student accommodation to all undergraduate students on campus. It is guaranteed as long as you apply by a certain deadline and you choose us as your firm choice. If you are a postgraduate student, so you're looking for a master's, we guarantee accommodation to you too, but slightly off campus in Stratford, which is 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes bus ride from the main campus. Okay, so moving on to what actually happens as a student, what sort of student life you can expect in the UK. So a big part of any university is the student union, and the student union is a group of students, really, that represent the whole student body of the university. So they kind of are in charge of the various different clubs and societies, any kind of sports related programs, but also any profits made from the Queen Mary restaurant or bars or campus shops are then passed on to the student union for them to kind of reinvest that in various different social events, which means that really that's kind of more of the responsibilities, apart from also representing the students' opinions and the needs and the wants to the senior team of the university. In terms of the various different clubs and societies, at Queen Mary, we have around 200 different clubs and societies. So there is lots of different things that you can get involved in. Really depends on your interests and hobbies. So if you would like to learn salsa dancing, that is possible. If you'd like to get into theatre, if you'd like to join a tennis or a weightlifting club, that's also possible. It's a fantastic way of kind of meeting new people, gaining new skills, getting out of your comfort zone, and really learning more about different kind of cultures and making new friends. I really recommend joining lots of different clubs and societies if you are up for it. It's a really nice way of making new friends. We do also have the Turkish Society at Queen Mary. So if you do want to reach out to them, I'm sure they'll be very happy to connect with you whilst you're in Turkey. And if you're coming over to visit us, you're welcome to drop them a line too. But in terms of other things that you can do or you can expect at Queen Mary, apart from kind of the clubs and societies and the events that they organize, there's lots of different university-led events. So these can be organized by the different faculties at the university, but they can also be kind of general events organized by Queen Mary. So, for example, we had astronauts coming to campus, we had Bill Gates, we had the orchestra, we had the science festival. If you're into data, we had harnessing data, air quality kind of conference hosted on campus. We had a music festival too. So again, there's lots of different events that you can get involved in. Apart from that, there's lots of different support options available to you as a student. So we have a careers center where you can speak to a careers advisor, but you can also attend lots of different events that they organize. We have different cafes and restaurants which provide a quiet space to students to socialize, have a bite to drink or eat, but also to catch up with friends. We have a gym on campus that you can join. It is an additional kind of charge, but it is very affordable for where we are in London. The student union has its own hub where you can go and chill there too. We have a couple of shops on campus where you can buy a few things, including Queen Mary merchandise. We have a health center that you can sign up to. We have a couple of different libraries, and we have our advice and counseling team too. They can provide any kind of welfare support. Perhaps you need some support with your visa, student visa, or perhaps you are struggling to settle in and you need some mental health advice or support. We can provide that to you too. Okay, so moving on to kind of careers. If you are kind of ambitious and you would like to get involved in different career opportunities, whether that is an internship, a longer period of time, or a micro internship, or perhaps you want to get some experience in terms of having a mentor, this is all available to you at Queen Mary, apart from lots of different events that are run by the different faculties. So if you're thinking of studying something like engineering, we have lots of different company representatives coming into Queen Mary. If you're thinking of studying something like business or economics and finance, again, because of the proximity of the university, the campus, and the city of London, there's lots of different specific career representatives coming into the university to give you an insight into what it's like being an engineer, what it's like being a marketer, and they'll help you shape kind of the next stages of your kind of career planning. And the Queen Mary careers team, they organize specifically for international students an International Careers Week, in addition to a careers fair. So during the careers fair, lots of different companies come in and you can literally have one-on-one discussions with those companies about applying to work with them. But during the International Careers Week, there's various different international focus sessions. So, for example, in the UK, currently you can study work for 2 years after graduation on a graduate visa. There is a session on that. We had a UK-based alumni panel where you can speak to international students in the UK and find out what they have done in terms of their careers and how they managed to secure jobs. There are other options such as networking, skills building workshop, and so on. So all of these are completely free of charge, offered to you as Queen Mary students. And if you are thinking as well in terms of doing a placement year or a year in industry, this is an option too. And I actually really recommend it to many students, purely because you are able to find a fantastic placement. We have teams within the different faculties helping students find placements. And if a company really likes you, they may offer you a job after graduation. So this is what happened to Karan. He did his placement year with Rolls-Royce, and they liked him so much they offered him a job after graduation. So what Karan said was that he really enjoyed working in an engineering company and being at the forefront of new engineering technologies. And he really enjoyed working at Rolls-Royce. I think they must have noticed that too, because like I said, they have offered him to return to Rolls-Royce after graduation. I have a couple of testimonials of students from Turkey too. So this is Banan. So both of these students they'll show you now are postgraduate students. And they have both somehow studied law. It seems like law is a popular option for students in Turkey. So Banan is from Ankara, and she has done our LLM in technology, media, and telecommunications. And she is currently a legal intern at Günay Erdogan. And in her testimonial, she just says that she has really enjoyed her LLM. The standout part of her time was working with Q Legal. This is what I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. So this is our pro bono initiative at Queen Mary, where she supported startups by drafting comprehensive legal documents. This was a hands-on experience, and it was pivotal in developing practical expertise under real-world pressures. And yeah, she just explains what she's doing now. And then we have Mert. He has studied comparative and international dispute resolution LLM, and he is currently a senior associate at a law firm in Istanbul. And again, yeah, he mentions how much he enjoyed the LLM experience and how much it has helped him with kind of networking and what he has gone on to do now. But if you'd like to connect with any current Queen Mary students, you can reach out to lots of different students via Unibuddy. It's a page that many UK universities use, so you can use that not only for Queen Mary, but also for lots of other UK universities. And there you can connect with lots of different students. So I really recommend having a look at that and hearing directly from students, what they enjoy about studying at each of the different universities. In terms of financial support at Queen Mary, we do offer that too, and we offer a £3,000 scholarship to all undergraduate students as well as postgraduate students, as long as you are high achieving students. So as long as you achieve specific GPA in your Turkish diploma or in your degree program in Turkey, we'll be able to offer you a £3,000 scholarship. Okay, and now moving on to the final kind of part of the presentation, what it's like studying in London. So here are some snaps of Queen Mary campus. Like I said, you don't really feel like you're in central London while studying at Queen Mary because the campus is completely self-contained. And once you're in campus, you feel you have that kind of sense of community there. But very close to the Queen Mary campus, there's lots of different sites and attractions. So we are really, really close to the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. Like I mentioned before, this is where we hosted the 2012 Olympics, but currently there's lots of different sports events that take place there, and there are sports facilities that you can use. In terms of Queen Mary sports facilities, we have a gym on campus, which has a kind of sports area, including like a cardio machine area, a weightlifting area. There's lots of different classes that take place at the gym that you can sign up to. There is a female-only room as well. And there's a kind of sports hall within the gym. So if you're into basketball, football, you can join the different clubs, and that's where you kind of practice. We also have a squash court at Queen Mary. So you can either get involved in different clubs and kind of take part in those at the Queen Mary gym, or some of the different clubs use facilities outside of campus too. There's lots of shopping opportunities in London, which I'm sure many of you are very much aware of. So closest to Queen Mary is the Stratford Westfield Shopping Centre, literally within 10 minutes on the tube. Really, really close. There's lots of different shops there, and obviously restaurants within that too. The City and Canary Wharf, so two kind of financial districts, are really, really close to Queen Mary too. Again, 10, 15 minutes on the tube from the campus, meaning that we have great connections with various different international companies, and meaning that you will have really great connections and networking opportunities with various different kind of individuals from different companies. In terms of kind of culture and what is there to do, so, you know, being in London, there's lots of history and lots of culture, and there are lots of different museums and things to do, not necessarily things that you have to pay for, really. So many of the museums are free of charge, and they are open kind of 7 days a week, but also having a walk around and, you know, doing a little bit of sightseeing in itself, grabbing kind of a bite to eat, is also very enjoyable in London. There's lots of different kind of theatre shows that you can go and see. Some of the best West End shows are presented and shown in London. One of them is Harry Potter, but there are lots of different theatre plays that you can see. There's lots of different restaurants that you can experience in London, literally depending on what are kind of your interests in terms of food. You can 100% find lots of different restaurants. In the summertime and in the spring, you will see a lot of people in London heading into the various different parks. That's a really nice way of kind of, you know, getting some vitamin D, some sunshine, but also meeting up with friends and families and so on. So you'll see a lot of people in London doing that. Again, sports, you know, lots of different sports opportunities to go and see different events and matches and so on. So definitely for any sports fans out there, that is definitely an option. And in general, you know, traveling around the UK whilst you're in London, super, super easy. So if you have a reading break, or if you have the Christmas break, or if you wanted to stay a little bit longer in the summer, it's really easy to get to other parts of England, but also UK in general. So from London, it's super close to get to the seaside. So the closest city is Brighton, and you see a lot of people in London heading down to Brighton just even for the weekend. It will take you 1 hour on the train to get to Brighton. And if it's a nice sunny day, it actually makes a really nice, lovely experience. There's lots of different kind of quirky shops in Brighton. We have the pier as well with lots of different rides. Again, there's lots of different nice restaurants, and you can chill a little bit on the beach and catch some sun rays if the weather permits. So that's something that a lot of people from London do on a weekend. It's not impossible to get to the Scottish Highlands. You may wish to plan a longer trip than just a one-day trip to get to the Scottish Highlands, but that is possible too. And that's completely different scenery there. There's lots of history to see in the UK, including the Roman baths in Bath. And that will be a 2.5-hour train journey from London, if that. So again, you do that on a weekend. Cambridge with its punting, you can head out for the day to Cambridge too. Again, it will probably take you 1.5 hours or so to get to Cambridge from London. And if you want to venture out a little bit further up, you can head to Belfast, where, I don't know if you knew, there is a Titanic museum with lots of different Titanic memorabilia. And if you are coming to the UK and to London specifically to visit, please come and book onto either our campus tours, which run every Tuesday and Friday, or our open days, which normally take place in October and June each year. So during the open days, lots of different schools within Queen Mary will have their own sessions where you can attend the sessions, but also have a look around the accommodation, have a campus tour, speak to current students and academics. So it's really a great way to find out more about Queen Mary. But if you come later in June or October, then we also run campus tours every Tuesday and Friday. And these are led by our student ambassadors. So you turn up on the day and a Queen Mary student will take you all around the campus and give you an insight into what it's like studying with us. And that's all from me. So I hope this was interesting to you guys to learn a little bit more about Queen Mary and what it's like living and studying in the UK. I'll stop sharing now, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Diana, thank you very much. It was very clear as usual. I checked the question part and I see many questions, and I will try to read you firstly, then we will listen your answers, okay? Please. First question is, do we have to graduate from one of the high schools listed on your school website in order to be accepted directly from the first year? If not, is foundation mandatory? I have many certificates. Wouldn't these be effective in getting accepted? Good question.
Yeah, very good question. Well done for doing your research. So yes, in terms of first year entry, you would have to graduate from one of the high schools on our approved list. However, if you haven't, but you have, for example, taken 2 AP exams, so advanced placement exams, we can consider you from a non-approved high school with 2 AP exams, as long as they are official College Board approved exams. So there is a way of getting in without studying at an approved school, but you have to have the 2 AP exams. And normally we ask for 2 5s in the APs and around 80% in the Turkish diploma. If you haven't studied at an approved school and you haven't done any APs, then you would have to consider a foundation year. And this can be taken either on campus at Queen Mary, or you can take a foundation year through our external pathway provider, Kaplan College, located very close to Queen Mary at London Bridge. So literally super close to where the campus is. So there's actually 2 foundation options. I hope that has answered the student's question.
Thank you. Yes, I think too also. And second question is about the accommodation option. Anyway, you shared all information, but I want to share the question. Is accommodation support guaranteed for postgraduate students?
Yes, so postgraduate students, we tend to house postgraduate students in Stratford, which is, you would have seen on my little map, literally 10 minutes away from the main campus. And that's because we don't have unlimited rooms on campus of the university. We have about 2,500 rooms at Milan. That's why we prioritize undergraduate students to live on campus. And our postgraduate students tend to live off campus, and that is often their preference. So yes, we do guarantee postgraduate students accommodation. It's just that you will be living slightly off campus in Stratford, but it's still really, really close to our main campus.
Thank you. Third question is, I am studying at a university where 100% education is English and my last year. Will I still have to take IELTS?
Yes, most probably you will have to. We used to accept kind of medium of instruction evidence, but we do not anymore. So most probably you'll have to provide an English language test, such as an IELTS test. There can be some exemptions, but typically Turkish students have to provide an English language test. Yeah. So most probably you'll have to provide one.
Thank you. Fourth question is, can I receive an integrated education that includes master's education along with undergraduate education?
Yes, good question. So yes, we do offer some programs that have a combined bachelor and master's together in one go. So many of our engineering programs offer this option. So that means you come on one visa and you have your undergraduate and postgraduate engineering degree all together as in one study plan. So those are the programs that we tend to do that. We tend to offer that option. It's mainly our engineering programs.
Thank you. The next question is, I am searching for scholarship options for PhD education. Is there a full scholarship PhD program option at your university? Can I learn the conditions, if any?
Yes, so with PhD, it's a little bit more kind of program specific. It's a bit more, tricky in a way.
This question is very popular in Turkey for the budget,
Yeah.
and very important question.
Yeah. So for PhD, yes, there are some fully funded PhD options available. What I would suggest you to do is get in touch with SIUK team, and they can get in touch directly with me, and we can connect you with the best person at each of the different schools. But really, the starting point would be to find a match with a professor at Queen Mary. To make sure that we can actually accept you for the PhD, that your research aligns with what is currently being done research-wise at Queen Mary. Because if there isn't, even if we do have, fully funded options, if we can't find you a supervisor, then, you can't study with us. So that's the kind of most important part. On our website, Queen Mary website, you can find each of the different academics across the university. They all have a profile, and you can have a read through the bio and the research that they do. And as long as your research proposal aligns with what they supervised, then it should be a good match. But it's a good idea as well to get in touch directly with them, to kind of have a discussion and get the approval to be supervised. So really, as a PhD student, a lot of work is kind of down to you as a student, purely because the supervisor will want to get to know you, and check whether they'll be happy to work with you and what sort of student you are.
Thank you. And next question is about the dependent. I am married, and are there any MRS programs where can I bring my spouse with me as a dependent? In which part of the program content can I be sure about whether there is a dependent right or not?
Okay, good question. So yes, there are some programs that you can study at Queen Mary on a dependent visa. So the rules have recently changed. Let me see. I'm just checking on the website because we have a website for this. So you'd have to take a. If I share my screen again, hold on a second. Entire screen. What should I? Okay, let's do entire screen. So hopefully you can see the screen. We have a page specifically aimed at students who are thinking of bringing dependents. So this is the list of our courses that meet the requirements for student visa applicants to be eligible to bring dependents. So you can, as long as you find a course that is Master by Research, MPhil, PhD, and then Doctors of Engineering Medicine, you'll be able to bring a dependent. So from here, the starting point will be to go to QMUL Course Finder and literally having a browse and making sure that the program that you're interested in is this one, or perhaps the MPhil program or PhD. And as long as this matches with the programs that you find and you're interested in, then you can bring dependents.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Next question is, can I work and earn money in the UK during summer holidays without returning to Turkey?
Yes, you can. That's a good question.
That's a question.
Yeah, business savvy student, very good. Yes, you can. So if you were to start studying an undergraduate program or even a postgraduate program, you can work full-time outside of term time. So as long as it's, for example, the Christmas break, or maybe you have a reading week, or in the summertime, there's no studying going on, no lectures, seminars, then you are allowed to work full-time. There are a few options that you can consider. One of them is becoming a Queen Mary student ambassador. And as an international student ambassador, you can pick and choose the jobs that you want to do, and you are being paid per hour and per whatever hours you've worked. So, for example, as a student ambassador, you would be running the campus tours that I mentioned. Maybe I'll have a group of Turkish students and I will need some help. So I'll say, oh, can you come and help me? And, give these students an insight into what it's like at Queen Mary, show them around the campus. You would get paid for that too. So that's a really nice job where you can gain lots of different skills and, have a little bit of fun as well and earn some money. Or you can consider working outside of campus. So it's totally up to you. So yes, you can definitely stay during the summer holidays. If you want to do a little bit of work.
Thank you. Are there subject-based summer school options at your university?
Yes, there are different summer school options. So I can show you exactly what you can study on the summer school. So let me just quickly share my screen again and you'll see. So the summer programs normally run for 3 weeks from the end of June until mid-July. You just keep in mind that you're going to have to be 18 to study, to come and do the summer school at Queen Mary. So there's things such as British horror and fantasy cinema, business and society, psychology, politics, filmmaking, environmental impacts on health and disease, international law, London and museums, machine learning, Taylor Swift, if you're interested in Taylor Swift, financial stuff, architecture in England. So yeah, there's lots of different options that you can actually consider. So lots of different subject areas. So you can see some of them start in July as well. So what you can do is stack them up and receive a slight discount as well if you choose two sessions straight after one another.
Thank you. I'm a third-year university student in Turkey, and can I transfer direct to your university? One more question. We
So
have
just
many times from our students. More popular question.
Oh, okay, good to know. So that's just for a 1-year top up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, unfortunately not. No. So we don't offer 1-year top-up degree. Some universities do in the UK, but we do not. So for some of our programs, you can start from the second year and then do second and third year. But if you just wanted to do 1 year at Queen Mary, we don't offer that. So you can either finish your studies in Turkey and then do a master's, which is just 1 year with us. Or you can consider redoing one of the years and entering into year 2, but it's not available for every program.
Top-up program is good option, but I think our students maybe have no idea about the top-up program. Sorry, I think I mean that maybe question is about can I transfer directly? For example, he or she's third year. I think she or he wants to know that can transfer directly, for example, last year to your university or not? Answer is no, actually, I know. But thank you. And also top-up program options are is possible, but for not all programs. Yes, thank you, thank you. I think it is enough, but if our student needs to have detailed information, please connect with SIUK team directly for details. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. Next question is, I think, last question. Can I apply to work as an academic staff at your university after my master's degree? Maybe I can plan my PhD education and same time work as an assistant at your university, etc. I can work in jobs like are academic job opportunities offered to the international students at your university? This question is very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, very good question.
Yeah, important.
There isn't a short answer to this one. I think in the States it's a bit more streamlined with I forgot the name of the scheme, but you can be like an assistant and do your PhD and kind of work at the same time. Whereas in the UK, it's kind of university and school dependent. So yes, there may be an opportunity, but I think if you are seriously thinking of doing a PhD, then you can answer those questions whilst you're searching for your supervisor. So once you found a good match in terms of your supervisor, they can then assist you depending on your PhD. What are kind of what are the job opportunities available to PhD students specifically in that research area? So yes, that could be a possibility, but you'd have to discuss that with your supervisor.
Thank you. Question part is okay. In fact, we have completed the presentation and question section. Now I will give a very short explain in Turkish, and then we will say goodbye together and presentation will end. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Herkese katılımından dolayı çok teşekkür ederiz. Yani sunumumuzun, webinarımızın başında da açıkladığım üzere Birleşik Krallık genelinde Russell Group üniversite statüsünde, yani araştırma üniversitesi olarak geçen 24 üniversitemizden birisi olan Queen Mary University London temsilcimiz Bayan Diana ile birlikte olduk bu akşam. Üniversitemizdeki popüler bölümler, üniversitemizin sıralaması, konaklama imkanları, eğitim olanakları, üniversitenin lokasyonu gibi birçok konuyu detaylandırmış oldu. Umuyorum ve eminiz ki sizlere çok faydalı oldu. Yapmanız gereken tek şey, bugün burada tabii ki genel bir bilgilendirme Dayana tarafından yapıldı ama sorular kısmında da güzel sorular aldık. Ayrıca çok teşekkür ederim. Çok güzel konulara değinilmiş. Dayana burada bu soruları cevaplamış oldu ama eminim ki birçoğunuzun soracak daha çok soruları olabilir. Yapmanız gereken tek şey SIUK Türkiye ekibiyle iletişime geçip uzman danışmanlarımızdan Birleşik Krallık ile ilgili eğitim sürecinizle alakalı destek almak. Biz burada SIUK Türkiye ekibi olarak sizlere destek vermek üzere hepinizi bekliyoruz. Dediğim gibi yapmanız gereken tek şey bizlerle iletişime geçmek. That's okay, Diana. We can say goodbye and then the end.
Great. Well, thanks so much. Thank you for hosting me, and thank you everyone for attending. And we hope to see you at Queen Mary one day in the future.
Thank you so much also for your clear presentation, Diana. If you have any question or students are anywhere, we touch with you. Thanks so much and talk to see you in Turkey soon.
Definitely. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. İyi akşamlar herkese.